Men are valued when they make a lot of money.
I do not care. Your kids know more than what you think. Why be scared of it? It's something that you want.
Why do so many people cut themselves short when it comes to money? We should get the cheapest flight. You will sacrifice what you want because the money is a barrier. Or I just want to save.
If you want it, go get it. If you don't, well. What's the deal, family? Welcome back to another SOS podcast. I am Cameron, and this is my beautiful wife, Erin.
What is up?
What's up, babe? How you feeling?
I feel good. I'm a little bit tired because it's probably 9:30 at this point.
Yeah.
And we've had a long few days with River teething. So
yeah, and River went to bed a little later today.
Yeah, she did.
I think she took like a longer nap with her Grammy.
She was giving me the flux.
So Daddy had to put her to bed.
Yeah. So it was fine. I just was like, woof.
She did a handoff.
Yeah. Okay. So what are we sipping on? Wow.
She
been that long.
She don't even cheers.
Cheers.
We got a little green juice. We got some kale, pineapple, some golden apples, green apples, ginger, and I think that's it.
It's a really
and
good
a lemon.
green juice.
Lemon.
I don't taste the ginger. You can taste the green, but it's not one of those green juices where you're just like, oh my God, this is just way too green. It's like a salad in a cup. It's not like that.
Yeah, it tastes good.
Yeah, it's pretty good. And also very on theme for what we're talking about, which is money. Okay.
Money.
One of my favorite things to talk about. Okay. So this or that.
Yeah.
Would you rather come into $1 million at 21? Like on your 21st birthday, $1 million just appears in your bank account.
Okay.
Or you're 70 and you come into $1 billion. Which one would you rather?
70 and $1 billion. Really? I mean, yeah.
Why?
I just feel like 21 millionaire or just $1 million. I don't know what I know right now, so I don't think that I would be able to grow that, not to $1 billion. I would prefer to have $1 billion at 70 and leave my entire family with something.
Well, that's a good way to look at it.
So, I mean, I feel like, are we still living like how we living now? And then we just get $1 billion, or we just, is there
We're like a traditional working class family.
I'm going to go for the billion because my kids will be set, their kid, like, $1 million, that's not a promise that I'll do right or that the risk that I take will, I guess, financially set everybody.
Okay. I think that makes a lot of sense. The way I was looking at it is, I don't want to say you're at the end of your life, but like you've lived for a lot longer than you probably have left.
I just feel like at 70, I think obviously I will hope that I still have maybe another 20 years to live at least that I can enjoy it with my family. Because even now, if I got $1 billion right now, like I'm going to enjoy it with my family now. So it's no different from 31 to 70, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
And to be quite frank, tomorrow's not promised. So that, if I made it to 70, it's no different than if I didn't make it to, 40 or whatever.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like you don't know.
Exactly.
Assuming that I make it to 70 and I get $1 billion and I know for sure I can die the next day.
Babe.
I'm just saying, like, I'd be like, man, I did it.
I think for me, I would choose the $1 billion at 70 as well because I think we're the type of people who just enjoy life in general. So I don't think we would live a miserable life up until making we're getting the $1 billion at 70. We actually just watched $1 Million Secrets. We just finished on Netflix, and I was so sucked into that show. I'm actually sucked into any show or like I'm like in this millionaire mindset. What?
Right here, River.
You scared me the way that you were looking.
Maybe I'm just hearing stuff because I've been traumatized from the past few nights.
Well, do you want to like peek up like?
Yeah.
Because I don't want her just up there screaming and we just down here sipping green juice. That's what happens when you're a parent. You just think you hear. You always are like, is that the baby? Do I hear something? What's that? It's like part of our DNA now.
Right.
Okay, so we just finished this series called $1 Million Secrets on Netflix, and I was so engrossed. Like, I just binged it.
Well, you
And
binged
Cameron,
each.
yeah, I binged each like segment as
Yeah.
it was being released, and Cameron watched it with me too. It was so interesting. All the lies and all the deceit and all of the all of the trickery. But that's not the point of the episode. Today, what are we talking about?
We are talking about breaking generational, I guess, curses on our financial status in our family. So becoming the first millionaires in our families, respectfully.
Mm-hmm.
If y'all don't know, Erin is doing a millionaire in a year right now on her social media, and essentially it's about being able to pay ourselves, like we physically ourselves, not our business, ourselves have $1 million or more dollars, so multi-million-dollar year
Yeah.
in our own pockets.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Big challenge.
huge challenge.
Yeah, I'm excited.
So like, why does being the first millionaire matter to you so much?
Yeah. Well, I think it's the biggest thing is the legacy. And I feel like outside of that, like I just want to have a lot of money. I do believe that, especially as women, we try to find all these reasons that sound good to why we want to have a lot of money. And
Yeah.
I think it's perfectly fine to just want to have a lot of money.
Mhm.
Like you can live a much more comfortable life when you have a lot of money. It gives you resources, it gives you access, it gives you just, yeah, I think the access is the biggest thing, one of the biggest things for me, because I want to be able to do things for ourselves and for our children and for their children where money is not a barrier.
Yeah.
And I feel like both of us have experienced, traditional working class upbringings where money, we always heard the saying, like, money don't grow on trees,
It's just taboo. Like, money is taboo.
Yeah.
Even talking about it.
Yeah. It's like, you don't really know how much your parents make. You don't know how much the bills cost. You don't know how much, or at least that was like my experience. I know you and your mom have a different relationship when it comes to money, but like, I never knew how much my parents made. I never knew how much the bills cost. Like, I didn't even know car insurance was a thing. I just thought you just get in the car and drive. I literally thought for probably until I got to like middle school, maybe even like ninth. No, it was probably middle school. Where I was like, wait, so gas? When I would hear people talking about like the gas prices are so high during the recession.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it's literally $5. Like, come on. Y'all are fine. I didn't realize
$5?
it was like $5 a gallon.
Oh, you're
So so I'm just lost in the sauce. Like, there were so many things that I just did not know. And I think a lot of it is parents are trying to shelter kids from just maybe if there was some struggle there, you don't really want your
financial
kids worrying.
stresses.
Yeah. You don't want to put that on your kids. So in turn, you just kind of don't tell them anything. And there's this level of mystery on the kids' part. And so I just think for me, I want to have access and I want our kids to have access to whatever it is that they want. If River wants to go get the best tennis coach, if she wants to play tennis and she's like, this tennis camp costs $10,000. I'm like, okay.
30, 50 or something.
I'm like, cool. When is it? Like, we want the best for you. You know what I mean?
Right.
Whatever else. I want to be able to fly first class with our kids. Like, I want that. And so I want the access. That's like probably the number one thing. And I want the legacy that having money, not just passing that down generationally. Like, I do think people talk about generational wealth in the sense of like, I need to leave my child with X amount of dollars.
Right.
But I also want them to have generational wealth of like understanding money in a different way.
To see you navigating.
Exactly.
That kind
like
of money.
That's wealth to me.
So when they do get it,
yeah,
it's like, oh yeah, this is already what
they
we do.
know how to manage it. Yeah. So those are like my core reasons. Yeah. What about you?
Obviously your core reasons are my core
we talk about this stuff all the
time. But I think from what you said too, I feel like the biggest part is just simply owning the fact that you want money. Like, I feel like it's like I said, it's taboo. Like how we grow up, it's not such a thing that you are. It's kind of like you know you're supposed to have money, but you're not really encouraged to go get some money,
Mm-hmm.
right? And I would say why I say the biggest thing is owning the fact that you want it. I feel like it's just step one to being able to get it.
Yeah.
Outside of that though, my reason is, to tag along with what you said, it's just like you get to choose what you want to do
Mm-hmm.
versus like when I think about myself, I did all the things that they tell you to do, right? They say go to school, study one of the top things. I did engineering, right? Graduated, didn't feel fulfilled. I would be going to DC every other month to visit Erin, and I'm like, Erin, this job is cool. Yeah, I'm making good money. I don't feel great though. Like
Mm-hmm.
I did all of this for what? Like what did I do this for essentially? We started a business that felt great. Didn't make no money for like a year straight on that. We were just shelling out money, and it was fun. Like
Yeah.
it never felt so good to lose money.
Yeah.
And I don't even know if I would consider it losing money. It was just like building something.
Yeah.
And honestly, I feel like that prepped us for when you started Erin on Demand.
Yeah.
When I
Agreed.
think about it, but I think just choices. Like I feel like if I had the choice, if I was maybe groomed in wealth, then I probably wouldn't have done that. I
Mm-hmm.
wasn't even gonna go to school in the first place, but since I did, I said, well, why not? I'll take the challenge. You know?
Yeah.
But to me, I think the main thing is just like having the choice. So being able to give River the choice to do what it is she desires to do, not what we're saying. You need to do 1, 2, and 3 because we didn't do good enough. And it's not a it's not a knock to the parents,
Mm-hmm.
but to me, I feel like I didn't do enough if I don't know if I can't provide that to her.
Yeah.
So that's just something that I want.
Yeah, something that really stuck with me from a podcast that we listened to before it flipped upside down, I'm Athlete.
Oh yeah.
One of the people that they had on as a guest, he was like a executive at UBS.
Yeah.
And he said that in the Black community, what he noticed is that most of the time when we come into wealth, that money is sent backwards in the lineage. Like taking care of parents, taking care of grandparents,
Auntie,
and
uncle, and them.
yeah, and our counterparts, most white families, like their money is going forward. Like
Yeah.
they're not having to retire their parents and take care of them and buy them a house and fund their lives basically. That money is going to their
And
kids and their kids' kids.
before you go, I know some people might take that wrong. We understand the history. We understand all those
for
things.
sure.
Yeah.
Like we get it.
Yeah, we're not.
This is just an observation that I'm sharing.
Yeah.
That something that stuck with me because it is difficult when you hear it from somebody who's wealthy, who's in the wealth management space, and they are able to see things from a different vantage point. It does make you think. Like, I definitely want us to be in a financial position where when River becomes wealthy as an adult, I don't want her thinking about her wealth in context of taking care of us.
Yeah.
And that being a huge driving force for her to go to get wealthy. Yeah. I want her to do whatever it is that she wants to do.
And if she wants to do something for us, cool.
Yeah. And if she wants to, she has the option to. And that's just not an expectation, though, that we have for her. And so that has always been something that has stuck with me. It's just like creating a life for ourselves that put our children in a position where they don't feel pressure to then take care of us.
Yeah.
So,
or honestly, feel pressure enough to where they go crazy trying to get to this space, or it just feels like a never-ending cycle of trying.
Yeah.
It's just kind of like, okay, let me actually try this in comfort.
Yeah.
I just feel like one in our community too that is kind of like shunned on, that your try is done in comfort. It's like everybody has to have this horrific story or this
like this rags to riches story.
Yeah, it's just like, man, I'm kind of sick of that story. Honestly, I'm trying to get it comfortably.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get my kid. I'm trying to give it to her comfortably. Like,
yeah.
Do what you want to do. Now, if you fail at it, I don't want you to be like, dang, oh, this is the end of the world. Because I feel like, especially as entrepreneurs, some things you do fail at.
Yeah.
It might be small, it might be big. Like you're going to fail at something. Something's not going to go right. Everything doesn't go 100% perfectly while you're doing what you're doing. But I think just having that sense of comfort around doing it will be a much bigger help, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree.
But in regard to like that financial observation that you made from the guy from UBS, and I can't remember his name. What would you say? How can I word it? First of all, are you scared of wealth?
No.
Do you think you were surrounded by some people who are scared of wealth?
I think
And when I say scared of wealth, it's like I'm simply just saying like saying that they want something but don't really believe it. You can see that they don't believe
that's
it.
what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily know if it's scared of wealth as much as it is like a lack of confidence.
That's what when I say scared, I'm speaking in that context.
Yeah.
So
Definitely.
what would be your way of describing overcoming the fear of becoming wealthy, essentially?
I think just the exposure to people who have created wealth and seeing what that could look like for me and putting it into context of my own life. And it's kind of like we're either going to be wealthy and happy or, like we still going to be happy regardless. You know, like we have figured out a way to maximize our lives and live it in a way that makes us happy.
Yeah.
But I would rather be happy and
with a
wealthy.
whole bunch of money.
Yeah. I don't think that I don't think that you have to choose. And sometimes I feel like, it's just, for lack of better words, it's just easier to be comfortable and not to take the risk and pursue the thing to becoming wealthy. Because to me, there's always going to be some level of sacrifice that you have to make in order to tap into the next level. And I am listening to this podcast, Hello 7 by Rachel Rogers. She's actually who's the author of We Should All Be Millionaires, the book that I'm reading. And her company, Hello 7, is like stands for Hello 7 Figures. So, but she's like, the 7 figures should be the baseline. Like that should be basically the zero for everybody. Like that needs to be a given that you're gonna become a millionaire. Right. It's about like, she's like, the fun happens once you hit that 7 figures and you like see how much faster you can hit the next level. Like the fun is really once you have the money to kind of play with, then you can really tap into a whole new level of yourself. Yeah. And like, and it's not even fully about the money as much as it is about like kind of just evolving as a person. You get what I'm saying? So I don't know. I've just always been excited to create possibilities for myself. And I think with me, I always said, like, I'm going to be a millionaire by the time I'm 30. I would tell my mom all the time, I'm like, when she was paying, my dad were paying my rent at Howard my senior year, I would always feel kind of bad when I would call her and be like, okay, Mom, my rent is due. Because like I literally did not have a job in college. So I never got hired for the work studies. And I was like, I'm not working at no fast food restaurant on Howard's campus. Like I'm not doing it. I didn't have time. I was so involved in all the extracurriculars and stuff. So I would call my mom, like, okay, Mom, rent is due. And she'd be like, okay, like, I can't wait till you graduate, girl. Goodness, you sucking us dry. And I don't know. I just always would tell her, like, I'm going to take care of you. Don't worry, Mom. I'm going to give it back. Like, I got you. Like, once I'm on, like, I got you. And she was like, I always knew you would be fine. But, I just think there's this sense of confidence that I've always had to do the thing. So,
yeah. No, you definitely had that for a long time.
Yeah.
Since I've known you.
Wait, but why aren't you scared? I feel like it's a little bit different for men too, though.
Why do you think it's different for men?
I think the way that men view money is always a bit different than women. Just because men are naturally
let's not
considered
generalize.
the provider.
Let's keep it at me and you. Where do you think we're different at when it comes to how we
Well, I think,
view money.
yes, I agree with not generalizing, but I think in general, even though you said don't generalize, that society does put us in these boxes
Yeah.
of the man is the provider and the woman is the homemaker.
Yeah.
And obviously, we've come a long way from these traditions, although some people still run their households like that, and that's fine. Whatever works is fine. But what I'm saying is, I think that those things have caused men typically to have a greater sense of confidence about pursuing money, because that is traditionally how men find value in life, or how people see men as valuable in the world.
Right.
Like, men are valued when they make a lot of money.
Right.
And that's like, you could be talking with your girls and she tells you about her new man, and almost the first thing you're going to ask, like, what does he do? Does he make good money? Like, and I mean, it's just how we've been shaped. And I think that a lot of times that can have an impact on a man's confidence toward pursuing money, which is why it's a lot more socially acceptable for a man to work extremely long hours than for a woman to work extremely long hours who has a family. Like, most of the time, for a lot of women, that is frowned upon by her peers.
Yeah.
So I think that's more of where I'm coming from.
Oh, okay, yeah. I mean, I know that, but
okay, so what's your take?
I don't know. I ain't never been scared. Like, I don't know. I feel like I don't know. I think I watched me and my cousin Mike. We used to watch our granddad come into the house with a suitcase full of money. And that just, I never forgot that. I wanted to do that one day. I actually need to go get some money and do that one day.
Yeah, you should.
Yeah. But he used to come home, and this back, you bring cash to the house. Very old school. Like, you got cash in the house. You got, it's just this briefcase at the long day or long month or whatever he did.
Under the mattress is the bank.
Didn't understand how he ever had this money in this briefcase. No files in there except for Monday through Thursday. Fridays, I don't know where the files went. We would go up there into his office, lay it down on his desk. We would see it. We're like, oh, Pawpaw is sweet.
Let me hold $1, Pawpaw.
Granted, I don't know how much money it was. It might not even been a lot. I have no idea, but it looked like a lot.
Yeah.
But the way I grew up, it wasn't bad, but I don't think it was great. For example, I know what it's like to see that my water is getting shut off, even though my dad didn't think that I knew what that was. Meanwhile, everybody has a trade in my family, so like, how do I not know what these things are? Going to pay the electricity bill late, like actually having to go to some office to pay it late. I'm like, yo, but we're not saying nothing because they don't talk to you. Your parents not talking to you for real.
Right.
In this particular case, my dad, he don't talk to me about anything. So like, in his mind, he don't know. Right. And we didn't actually feel it in the house. So it wasn't very apparent because it'd be like right on the deadline or something like that. It's been past due.
Yeah.
But on this day,
it's getting shut off.
We didn't wrangle up some cheese to go pay for these things. So never actually like experienced the power outage or not having water, but I've seen it. I've seen I've seen my mom be different because she had been laid off for a while. But also listen to how my mom had to sacrifice, and she took out of her 401k for us just to make sure that things were make sure we ain't feel it, basically.
Right.
So like, she made some different sacrifices that I feel like she didn't have to make. I don't want our kids to ever see that and feel it, because we feel like kids feel that. I don't care what parents. I do not care. Your kids know more than what you think. So like, and they feel more. So I just, for me, I haven't been scared because I'm like, it's either I'm gonna do the same thing or I'm gonna go make sure my life is different than at least what I'm currently having. And trust me, I didn't have a bad life. Yeah. I really didn't. I have a great family. Everybody's good people, but it wasn't a very financially stable situation. And I think I've been saving money. Any money I get, I would save it. As soon as I could, high school, I got my first job as a caddy, doing two, three rounds a day for each day in the weekend. The summertime there every day, so that I can survive through high school and all that every year. Didn't spend no money on no girls. In fact, I didn't even go on no dates for real until my senior year of high school, so that wasn't even a thing. But yeah, I. It's just like, why be scared of it? It's something that you want.
Yeah,
I guess that's how I look at it.
exactly.
Like, I don't know. I think I like to feel it. I like to see it. Like, I ain't never been ashamed of it. It's like, yeah. I'm getting to it.
I think like anything else that you want is like, why not just want an abundant life? Like, why not want everything abundantly? Why do so many people cut themselves short when it comes to money? I just think all the narratives of making money is hard, or how our money mindset has been shaped from the time
That's
that
from our
we've
families and
been
communities.
growing
That's
up.
all.
Yeah, it's like all of that just trickles down, and
we don't
sometimes you don't even realize it.
We don't ever see examples of it. And honestly, I didn't even know what fine dining was for real until my mom's cousin. He took us out to eat, and I was like, oh, this is nice. Usually you go out with your family like, all right, get what you want. That mean don't get what you want for real. Don't even get what you would pay for yourself. Hold it down. But like, something he showed me was, when you go somewhere, and me and Mikey, we went with him for the first time. Pulled up, took us in the Porsche, like everything, like the whole nine. We're like, oh, this is sweet because it's great, right? Get to the restaurant, he like, order what y'all want, type of thing.
And you're like, maybe I'll get the side of
so
fries.
me and Mike, we just order our little entree. He like, I said, order. All right, brother ordered basically the whole menu. I was like, oh, you tripping?
And a bottle of wine.
2. But I think at that moment it was when I say like we don't have an example, I needed that example because I don't think my idea, even though I wasn't afraid of making money, I didn't know how to. I didn't shape it yet.
Yeah,
it wasn't until
you
like
put
that.
an experience to it.
Yeah, I didn't know what I wanted others around me, my family, to feel like. I didn't know that I wanted to be able to do that for people. Like when I go out, whether it's friend, family, I want to be able to pick up the bill, show you a good time. Not that none of us have money. It's just like, it don't matter who picking up. I just want us to all go out. If we get 2, 3, 4, 5 bottles of wine, that be that. Whatever. Get what you want. We're gonna get every appetizer, like whatever. Like, get what you want. Like,
it's access.
It's just like, bro, how are you here, and why are you just now doing this? For us. And then him again, taking me to the Porsche experience, driving every last Porsche vehicle there is. Like, I was like, oh, I got to get one. I knew I wanted one, but now I got to get one.
Yeah.
Like, I can't test drive this and never drive it again. So like, that's an experience to it. Then again, when he was working on the office in Chicago, brought us to Chicago. We went to a Pistons game and Bulls game, sitting next to the owner's suite. Another experience. I'm like, why can't we have these things? Why aren't we like desiring these things?
Yeah.
And just from that one person, it's crazy. A lot of stuff has come from him.
A lot of experiences, yeah.
But that should tell you so much. Like, we don't have that many around. So when you do, you need to pick up and be admired enough to put a plan together that you hope to exceed what because his prayer for us is for us to exceed what he's doing. Like, he does this to not only show us a good time, but to show like, no, this is what we do. Like, this is a standard.
Yeah.
Like, everybody, let's go. We going to such and such when I come in town, type of thing. Like, to me, that's cool. And I feel like some of us do not. I don't know. I don't think we can see ourselves doing those things, or we're too selfish. Even if we do get a little money, I ain't doing that. I ain't taking them out. But like, what are you doing it for?
Exactly.
So I don't know. I think, like I said, I think having the examples around you and I guess learning from those experiences that those examples show you.
Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing. I think one thing Cameron is really good about is being like, Erin, it's the experience. Like, we don't need to pay attention to the price as much. Like, I feel like I'm still the type of person who I'm looking at flights and I'm like, we should get the cheapest flight. And a lot of times you just don't realize how much so many things shape how you view money, even down to like, oof, this flight's too high. I ain't paying that to go to, I'm not paying that just to go to the Bahamas. That's right around the corner. I'm not paying $1,000 for a flight there, but you want to go though. So it's like, why? You're going to have to get there. You know what I'm saying? Like, you will sacrifice what you want because the money is a barrier for it makes the decision for you, basically. Right. And I just don't want that. And so, yeah, I mean,
you honestly do that to me too, though.
I know. We both do it to each other.
Yeah, I do it from a maybe experience point of view, but you do it from a physical, like, material situation.
Yeah. I'm like, get the shoes, babe. Get the...
Well, I still haven't bought shoes. You bought all my shoes that are over $150.
Babe, that's a lie. Straight through your teeth.
I got one pair. All the other ones you've bought. And my wedding shoes, I bought those. But those are like $200 something. Mm-hmm. So that was the, I guess, first pair that I bought. That was over like $100 some.
But yeah, I think for me, and I feel like, whatever, we can wrap soon, but I think for me it's the feeling, and like you said, just how you felt in those experiences are things that you will just never forget. Yeah. And I kind of felt the same way when I was driving the Escalade when we were in Palm Springs. I was like, oh my God, I love this truck. Like, there's no way that this is the last time that I'm driving this. Like, this has to be my car. And thank God we have exposure to people like that who have had such a huge impact on our lives to where we can envision things in a certain way for ourselves. A lot of people just simply don't have that exposure. And so one of our friends was telling us, like...
Well, I will say sometimes they do have the exposure, but
they don't
struggle
use it.
with seeing themselves in that space.
Yeah, it feels so far away. Yeah. Like, it's just like, I'm never going to be able to do that.
But how I see that is, if this person or persons are right here, it's not that far away. Mm-hmm. Like, I can shake your hand. That means it's close.
Yeah. And that's how I view it. That's where the 6 degrees of separation has come. Like, everybody in the world is 6 degrees separated from each other. And it's like, like, we're like a degree separated from, I don't know, whoever the richest person in the world is. And so one of our friends, she was saying how one of the videos that we posted was just so inspiring to her. Like, she was like, I never thought of having a house manager or like being able to do X, Y, and Z. Like, you guys really opened my mind up to things that I just never really realized were even a thing. And she was talking about the Kardashians, and we were saying how we both watch it, and she was like, honestly, I really just watch it to like see and be exposed to a life that I'm just so unfamiliar with, like to be exposed to wealth and like access, and what does the inside of a private jet look like? What does the inside of a really nice big old mansion look like? And I'm like, dang, that's real. Like, I never even thought of it in that way. Yeah. So, I think everybody, with how small the world is because of our phones and the internet, I think we can all find ways to be exposed to whatever it is that we want in our lives.
Yeah, you just got to kind of put the energy toward that.
Yeah, for sure.
For sure. But, on the road to multi-millionaire status, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. We need that. I gotta buy Erin. I have never seen her so excited about a car.
I'm
ever.
Obsessed, you guys.
This particular truck that GM gave us for a week was $125,000, and I'm not gonna lie, if that number even came remotely out of our mouths younger, someone would have our parents would have looked at us like, huh? Mm-hmm. Shoot, honestly, $30,000. Like, I didn't think I would ever get a car over like 25.
Yeah, we were looking at houses that were like around $150,000, $200,000 when you were first looking for a house. When I was first looking for a house. So the thought of getting a car that's nearing that number is wild. And but the thing is like, we actually, it's not even like we just believe that we can get it. It's like we know we will get it. You know what I mean?
Well,
Like,
even with the house
that's the
situation, I didn't
certainty.
even know that I could afford a $350,000 house. 400.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that I can afford the $400,000 house. I literally didn't know. I just assumed that the house I was supposed to be able to get it had to be 150 to 180 grand. If it's
Mm-hmm.
200, whew.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that I could physically afford to buy a house that was 400 grand. I had
Yeah.
no idea.
Mm-hmm.
And then, thank God, none of the offers and some of the houses were nice. Don't get me wrong, but thank God some of the houses were not. My offer wasn't accepted.
Yeah.
I mean, Erin was writing letters for me and everything. This is
I
before
know.
we were engaged.
We weren't even
We weren't
engaged
even.
yet.
I wasn't even thinking about
Babe,
marriage
don't say
yet.
you weren't thinking
I
about
wasn't.
it.
But she was writing letters, like, we was locked in, of course, but we weren't
Don't
at
try
the.
to clean it up with that, talking about of course, after you just said, I wasn't even thinking about
I
it.
wasn't. It just hit me one day.
Whatever.
Nah, but I feel like when those offers didn't get accepted or whatever, I'm like, I got the money. Why isn't this not getting accepted? Long story short, we get engaged. We freaking build a house.
Yeah.
I was like,
We were like, wait, is this possible?
yeah, we literally for like a week straight, we got our realtor. We were like, wait, we can do this? We can
Yeah.
do that? Like, okay, let's try it out, type of thing. Like, and even with that experience of like building this house that we're in now, or even finishing like this basement, like doing adult things, I guess you want to call it.
Mm-hmm.
We kind of been learning it on our own.
Yeah.
And while that is somewhat rewarding, I still would have preferred to have known someone to go through it previously, i.e., I would have hoped my parents have done that before, so that I have an idea of how to maneuver. Like, for us to both come from our parents' home, never have a mortgage, not even just live in a regular house on our own, that was a challenge because we just didn't understand a lot of things, going in. So it was a lot of learning to do on my end. Erin, I'm still trying to catch her up. But I feel like those are other ways. It's just like we all have to live in a house. Like we have to live somewhere. Like, why is there not an understanding around it before we get to that point? So I just want to be able to be a help to my children, in a way that when they get to these, I guess, places in life, it's nothing to think about. They already know. Like, that's not something you should be learning about then. Like, that's kind of how I look at it.
I agree. 100%.
But that's, we're supposed to live and learn. We're supposed to do it better than our parents, and our kids are supposed to do it better than us. So,
yeah. What do you, last question for me is like, what do you want River, like, how do you want to do things differently for her in terms of like how we talk about and teach her about money as she's like growing up? Like, even as a kid, like, what are we doing with 7-year-old River as she's like, oh, I got $10. Like, I want to go to.
I mean, we floated ideas around. I just think my biggest thing is paying attention to her and knowing like, oh, she's ready to learn this thing about money, right? Obviously, we probably will start off like, you got this much to pay for your dinner, maybe, or you paying for dinner this time, like doing a little fun stuff like that. Like, this how much. I don't know. Where do we go? Market North End costs like a good little lunch. Like, this lunch for all of us is $100. It's on you today. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like at 7 years old, she should have. She already has money accumulating, so she should know that she has money. And I think even from that perspective, like, the older she gets, the more she should know about what she has personally, outside of what her parents are doing.
Yeah.
Like, you already understand what your parents doing. Now it's time for you to start understanding what you have going on, leading to the older you get, the more you should know about what you have going on. You should understand it.
Yeah.
And I think just simply getting her ahead of the curve on, I guess, financial stability versus like, oh, I just need some money, or I just want some money. Right.
Or I just want to save.
Yeah, or I just want to save.
Like, I actually don't think that's a good thing.
Yeah, I mean, it can be when you're younger.
Yeah, but then you
No,
have this.
I'm saying it can be right. Like for us, I think we're going to teach. I know we'll teach her something different. But like if I put us in her shoes, we didn't know nothing but save, and in my opinion, me saving that money is was a blessing. At least
Yeah.
having at the very least you have the wherewithal to save a good amount of money. You understand like, all right, if I do this or if I have a certain percentage from my check, it's going here. I don't touch this, right? To some extent, you have the ability to learn how to take different type of risks that I can't touch this. I might put it somewhere else and let it do what it's going to do, right? Now those are things that
But
I wish
most
I
people,
knew,
yeah,
right? But most people don't know that.
most people who are chronic savers don't want to take any risk.
Yeah,
Like
no.
they just feel like I just need to hoard all of my money. And then there's no way you can get wealthy from saving.
Yeah,
Like
but
it's just impossible.
That's because you're not taught that. If
That's
you
what I'm
place it somewhere,
saying.
yeah.
You're
So
not taught, and as a child, you grow up and that's what your parents
teach
say.
you,
Like,
yeah.
save your money. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's a reward to just save
your money.
nonstop.
Yeah.
And so then kids grow up and they don't want to spend their money. And that's why it's like, well, I want to spend mommy and daddy's money. I'm going to keep my allowance and I don't want to touch it. Like, I don't want to use the money. And then, honestly, those things, they really kind of trickle into your relationship with money even as you become an adult.
Yeah.
And so, I just think that now, obviously, with having so many resources and everybody on Instagram and TikTok telling parents how to parent, like, you obviously pick and choose what you feel is good and applicable. But I do think that there are ways now that you can help your children understand the value of money, not just saving it to like buy some random big ticket item or saving from the time you're 20 to 30 to buy a house. Like there are ways that you can make your money actually work for you, and obviously that also comes from exposure. And a lot of our parents didn't have the exposure of understanding how to invest, understanding how to, maneuver through the system and make the money really work for you. So it's not their fault, but now I think more than ever, we have so many resources to our exposure. You don't have an excuse. Yeah. You just don't. Yeah. So
if you want it, go get it. If you don't, well.
Yeah. And just don't.
Just don't. Yeah. But yeah, I think that was good. Welcome back, season 2.
Woo! Season 2,
baby. Road to a milli.
Yeah, and let us know what you guys, if there are any topics you want us to cover, and any segments you want us to add to the show. I think we're always looking for some creative ideas.
We have been rolling in the mud, but
and also like I think too, we've just kind of been really focused on growing your personal brand.
Yeah.
Which has been so much fun, and you're seeing the results of putting a lot of your focus into that. And just me trying to kind of get into this millionaire mindset and doing the things.
You know what's so cool about I guess growing my own personal brand?
What?
I don't know if it's just me, but I really, really do enjoy the fact that me building something is based off of what you teach. It's just kind of like a testament to what you've been doing in regard to like business on social media for so long.
Yeah.
Like I feel like it's my job to be your biggest and greatest example. So like I'm just enjoying it from that perspective.
Aww.
Like,
I love that.
Yeah,
That's
I just
so
feel
sweet. Like you're killing it.
It's been fun. I think I've always operated in that way, but now doing it for like myself, I got a fire lit on it because I'm like I'm not about to make her look like she's failing.
Yeah, and honestly, that's like it means more to me from that perspective because it makes it's like I've done it and I have the information and I'm like I want the people around me to tap in.
Yeah,
like there's nothing better than seeing your family kind of like, okay, like I took the leap, I tested the waters, like come on now, like let's get to it. But like it would be honestly a slap in the face if you just didn't ever pick it up. You know what I mean? Because it's kind of like, Well, I mean, you do a lot of other things, so it really wouldn't be a slap in the face from you. But it shows that we're honestly on the same page with
Yeah.
things, and it does like help me give me the confidence to know, like, okay, I do know what I'm talking about. Shoot,
But you really
um,
do. Like, I feel like, I think after, I don't know, I've been editing your videos for the past 4 or 5 years, and like when you're doing something so much, it does seep into
mm-hmm,
your ecosystem. Like after a while, I just felt like I didn't have a choice.
yeah,
It's just like I'm brewing with creativity, with ideas. Like I was trying things over the last couple of years. Things weren't sticking. Not that they weren't good, but to me, they didn't feel good to me. Like the
they weren't
idea
like
might have started off,
authentic.
huh?
They weren't like fully authentic to you.
Yeah, I don't know. I just like Aaron would say, like, I can see you doing this. I'm like, I'm not feeling it. Then I'll start something like, I'm not feeling that. Like I've done it a couple times, but now,
I think you're
like,
also learning how to use what you have and where you are instead of like trying to make everything so perfect. That's a
well,
big thing
yeah,
that you
yeah,
you always kind of have struggled with that part
yeah,
of
for
it.
sure.
So now you're kind of embracing the fact that it doesn't take perfection to actually grow.
Yeah,
And honestly, sometimes it's the most randomest things that are more like fly on the wall, like catch it as you go type things
yeah,
that end up performing the best. So
yeah,
I think you're kind of shifting your approach to content, and it's felt through what you're
yeah,
creating.
yeah.
So
But it's not even just that. I think, like I was saying, it's just like the accepting. I feel like each stage of my life, I've had to accept who I was,
mm-hmm.
and I think I have to keep doing that the older I get.
Yeah.
And in this particular stage of life, I had to accept that I am this husband, and now I'm a dad. Um, and I don't know what this next stage will be, but like accepting that stage too.
Yeah.
Like I realized that in each area, I've had to accept where I was, and then I had to dominate it. Like to me, it's just one big challenge, but this one is just so sweet because it's like all I'm doing is supporting you.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's kind of how I look at
And
it.
I
It's
think to
just
tie it back into the millionaire topic is you said something that caught my attention is you've been around it for so long that it's like you don't have a choice but to act on it.
yeah,
And for me, that just goes to show, like, imagine if we were surrounded by
that
a whole bunch
bunch
of
of
just
that.
multimillionaires or
Yeah,
people. And it's not even just like, I don't even want to be surrounded by multimillionaires who are miserable, like happy family
yeah,
people who are multimillionaires living life at its fullest potential. Those types of
yeah.
multimillionaires or billionaires, well, like whatever
Whatever the case.
illionaire, well, not whatever illionaire, but like, millionaire, billionaire, and beyond.
Yeah,
Not like a 10
yeah.
air.
Tenny. But yeah,
But like, you know what I mean? I think that environment just cultivates action
yeah,
and
and I'm also, it would be. I think I would be remiss if I didn't. Like, I feel like I can do all the work, but I feel like there's more that I can do to add to us paying ourselves $1 million in a year.
yeah.
So, like, leaving corporate. Okay, what now? Like, I
Mhm.
can do stuff all day. So now it's just like, all right, I got that part. I can handle Erin on demand. Like
Mhm.
that part is easy to me. Now let's get some motion going so we can actually reach the goal, right?
Mhm.
One band, one song.
All
But
right.
yeah, so if you rock with me, then you rock with us. We'll see you next week.
Adios.